Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Decentralized Dream. Today, we're diving into some exciting and crucial updates around LayerZero. From new token distribution proposals to updates on Sybil lists, we have a lot to cover. So let's get started. Recently, two new proposals were launched on Snapshot concerning the distribution of Zero tokens to the community. Both proposals have successfully reached quorum. Let's break down what these proposals entail. In the first proposal, users of the native bridge are suggested to receive a total of 60% of the tokens. Out of these, 42% are allocated for using the native bridge itself, and 18% for utilizing dApps like WooFi, LeFi, Core, and others. Additionally, VSTG holders are set to receive 20% of the tokens. A mandatory staking criterion of at least 20 tokens has been introduced, along with a 1.3 multiplier for those who stake before March 17th. Liquidity providers are to receive 10% of the tokens, and developers will also get 10%. The second proposal presents stricter criteria. Bridge users will receive 38% of the tokens, with a minimum volume requirement of $5,000 and a maximum of $750,000. VSTG holders will get 36% of the tokens, requiring at least 100 vesting tokens to be eligible, with a maximum of 2 million. For example, those who have voted at least 4 times with 25 tokens will also be eligible. Liquidity providers are allocated 25%, with criteria including at least 1 week of providing liquidity, a minimum of $250, and a maximum of $5 million. Now, let's talk about the Sybil lists. LayerZero has compiled an initial list of Sybil addresses. Approximately 200,000 appeals have been submitted by users who believe they've been wrongly classified as Sybils, out of a total of 400,000 flagged addresses. This means about half of the flagged users think they're mistakenly labeled. Earlier, Brian mentioned initially identifying 1.8 million wallets. They softened the criteria, resulting in 800,000 wallets being identified as Sybils, with 400,000 self-destructing. Adding another 473,000 wallets from a new file brings the total to around 1.3 million addresses. Brian has hinted that those who bridge frequently without other activities are clear Sybils. This methodology was used in this report. Interestingly, LayerZero has revised its reporting system. They've introduced a half of Ether deposit for submitting a report. If the report is deemed of low quality, the deposit is forfeited. This change has been a significant victory for those fighting against Sybil hunters. Report submissions closed on May 30th. It is now confirmed that there will be around 480 reports, with approximately 240 in Ether. To break even, each report needs to account for about 500 wallets. Optimistically, about 100,000 wallets might be affected, with only around 25% of the reports being accepted. Brian Pellegrino recently stated that the preliminary list was published to identify likely Sybil users not eligible for bounty hunting. The final list aims to identify definitely or extremely likely Sybils, tightening the criteria and reducing the list from 800K to around 500K, a significant difference even considered all the appeals. The good news here is that by at least 300K this list has been reduced. This brings us to a funny and meme-worthy situation involving a drop hunter named Ruslan. He followed a guide on disguising Sybil accounts by purchasing ENS domains, but did so in a particularly naive way. Brian Pellegrino's commentary on this has turned it into a meme. Drop hunter didn't flinch. Now Ruslan is selling his ENS domain for 5 ethers. Just legend. On a more serious note, LayerZero's activity has reached its lowest level in a year. The number of messages sent through the protocol dropped from 348,000 on April 30th to just 70,000 on May 5th. Recently, this number has fallen below 40,000. In conclusion, it looks like LayerZero is nearing their end. We might see a checker by the next week at the latest, probably before the blast on the 26th. In their place, we anticipate the rise of Monad, Barachain, and Farcaster as the new leaders in the space. That's all for today's update. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest in the crypto world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.